Consider this. Voyager 1, a spacecraft that dates back before the internet itself, had gone completely silent. 15 billion miles away from the planet, there was no signal, no datage, silence. Somber silence so absolute that it resembled the universe itself having drawn a curtain. Scientists feared the worst, had our most distant explorer finally died in the dark. Then, just as a glimmer of hope was emerging, a whisper came back. But it wasn't a normal update. It wasn't a system reboot or a status check. What Voyager 1 sent back shattered the illusion we'd always held on to. The empty space above the sun was just that, a void. Because what Voyager revealed was not nothing. It was structure, movement, pressure, and boundaries. It had reached the other side. But what it found there was nothing like what anyone expected. Keep watching, because the truth, Voyager, is finding out about the interstellar. Medium is more astonishing and more unsettling than fiction ever dared to suggest. When Voyager 1 crossed the heliopause in 2012, it became the first human-made object to truly leave the sun's protective bubble. Many thought it would move into silence, then darkness, and nothingness, stillness. But in April 2024, after months of garbled transmissions, Voyager re-emerged online. What it started sending shook the foundation of astrophysics. Start out there. Beyond the heliopause, space is not hushed. It is droning. A low-frequency oscillation, steady and rhythmic, fills the void like the pulse of an animal or plant. Voyager's plasma wave instrument picked up some kind of ambient energy whispering through the interstellar medium. However, it wasn't just the humming. The spacecraft also measured pressure surges and density spikes, like shock waves left behind by ancient supernova. It's as if Voyager was passing through layers of memory zones in space, shaped by the deaths of stars that happened thousands, maybe millions of years ago. Interstellar space isn't an empty hallway. It's a swirling ocean of invisible currents and echoes, and Voyager, our tiny sailboat, is navigating blindly through weather we had no idea existed. As Voyager pushed deeper, its instruments began portraying what no telescope could, a three-dimensional structure hidden in the dark. Using its magnetometer, it detected a significant galactic magnetic field misalignment, twisting violently against the sun's field like two tectonic plates, grinding together. This was not arbitrary. It was patterned, structured. The magnetic turbulence Voyager recorded hinted at something more. The possibility that the galaxy itself has a magnetic skeleton, vast filaments of force shaping where matter flows and where it doesn't. Some regions deflect cosmic rays, others funnel them into streams, like dark radiation rivers. Voyager found it had crossed one such threshold, a sudden rise in energetic particles, accelerated by distant black holes and supernova, slamming into the probe at near-light speed. These weren't gradual changes. They were sharp, as if stepping from one biome into another. We once believed the sun's heliosphere was a soft gradient disappearing into a void. However, Voyager proved otherwise. It is not a coastline, it's a cliff. On that, the rules shift. It appeared toward the end of 2023 that the Voyager mission had ended. The indications were garbled. Data was unreadable. The spacecraft systems, designed in the 1970s, seemed to fail. NASA's engineers, though, didn't give up. They traced the problem to a damaged memory chip, probably hit by a cosmic ray. Ironically, a similar phenomenon to what Voyager was researching. And from 15 billion miles away, they did the unthinkable. They rerouted Voyager's hardware and software into backup memory, older than most of those fixing it, using commands that took 22 hours round trip. It was like performing brain surgery with 1970s tools across a time machine. Still, it worked. As of April 2024, Voyager regained its life. First, it sent engineering data, then its magnetometer, then detectors for plasma and cosmic rays. One by one, the instruments reawakened, with each reactivation. The spacecraft sent something new, something no simulation, no telescope, no AI could ever provide first-hand readings from the pitch-black space between stars. Voyager wasn't just restored, and with it, so was our window into the most fundamental details of the galaxy. Voyager is sending more than just numbers. It's It's a blueprint, a living map of the space between stars. Scientists are using its data to chart the first interstellar GPS, not for navigating through an atmosphere or planets, but through zones, magnetic boundaries, and invisible cloudlets. Voyager has moved through at least 2 interstellar clouds, regions of denser gas and plasma that drift like banks of invisible fog. In each one, it recorded different conditions, varying temperatures, various magnetic alignments, like crossing continents with invisible borders. These maps might guide future astronauts through safe corridors, using natural shielding to dodge deadly cosmic rays. However, even more significant is what these structures might mean. Some astrophysicists believe Voyager's readings could help explain how stars are created. The way these filaments and pressure zones funnel material may be seeding the next generation of suns. Voyager is much more than a probe. It's a cartographer, a scout, possibly tracing a route that holds the key to unlocking the very anatomy of the galaxy itself. We used to believe interstellar space was uniform, neutral expanse of particles randomly dispersed across millions of light years. However, Voyager is revealing something vastly different, something dynamic. Think of it not as empty space, but as an atmosphere filled with pressure zones, eddies, and even storms. As the spacecraft approaches the galactic core, more deeply, what has it encountered? Interstellar space is now what scientists call weather. Using its plasma wave instruments, Voyager has recorded sudden changes in temperature, density, and energy levels, as if flying through pockets of invisible mist, each with its own climate. These aren't chaotic fluctuations. They're structured, layered, defined. Voyager has discovered distinct divisions between interstellar cloudlets, small, dense concentrations of plasma and gas shaped by long-dead stars. Some have higher magnetic pressure. Others exhibit more radiation or low-frequency hums, like the echo of distant thunder. In Earth's terms, this would be like finding ocean currents in what we thought was a desert. As Voyager keeps sailing forward, it confirms that the map of the galaxy is not static. It's moving, breathing, live. Voyager's journey across the galaxy has met it, face to face in the suburbs with what might be one of the most profound discoveries yet. The most enigmatic characteristics of the local bubble. This is not a sci-fi story. It's an enormous invisible cavity in space, which extends for hundreds of light years, likely formed by a succession of supernova millions of years ago. Voyager's readings suggest it's now mapping the edges of the bubble, crossing densities that changes abruptly and magnetic patterns that distort like mirrors from carnivals. These boundaries aren't just scientific curiosities. They are scars, cosmic relics, violence written on dust and plasma that currently houses our solar system. Some researchers believe that within these zones, Voyager is hearing the echo of not only those ancient explosions, figuratively, but literally in the form of charged and magnetic particle waves of shock that have taken thousands of years to reach this point. These are the bones of stellar death, and they shape the space around us. Voyager is accelerating through a star cemetery, and with each reading, it is decoding the galaxy's code. The past is gone. What it's mapping now could alter our method of tracing the lineage of everything. From how stars are made to the path taken by our solar system as a whole, among the most eerie revelations of Voyager's recent data is the realization that there is no silence out there. While our telescopes can't see anything, they are heard by Voyager in these areas. Its sensors for plasma waves have detected continuous low-frequency sounds, steady oscillations that never cease. Few of these frequencies seem to vary slightly. As the spacecraft moves, as if it's entering new vibrational zones, these aren't radioactive, nor are they cosmic noise in the background. They are more like the resonance of the interstellar medium itself, a kind of symphony being played through plasma, magnetic fields, and clouds. It's a form of cosmic weather, perhaps, or a beat in the universe. Some scientists now speculate that this hum could be a signature of how the galaxy organizes itself, a byproduct of gravitational interactions or magnetic turbulence. However, others are more cautious. They wonder if this persistent oscillation, which we may not yet have, The language to describe is something akin to natural resonance, or worse, something unnatural altogether. Regardless, Voyager is more than just spotting it. It's moving through it, part of the song now, and we, back on Earth, are hearing it for the first time. The data from Voyager is changing how we see the galaxy not as a flat map of stars, but as a living terrain with valleys and mountains made not of rock, but of radiation and force. Each variation in cosmic ray intensity, each shift in particle density, each twist in the magnetic field, these are not haphazard spikes, they're landmarks. Voyager's measurements are helping scientists sketch the possible first real topography of interstellar space. Imagine being able to chart highlands of dangerous radiation in valleys where cosmic rays flow more gently, or walls where ancient supernova piled matter into ridges that don't show. This isn't science fiction. It's frontier geography, and Voyager is the scout. In addition, these unnoticed characteristics go beyond hazards. They might also be routes. Low radiation corridors could lead future interstellar probes safely between stars. Or they may display where stars and matter accumulate to be born. We are starting to realize that space is more than just a setting. It's an active landscape. With sculptures and what Voyager is revealing now could redefine how we explore, how we travel, and ultimately, how we survive in the greater galaxy. The mission of Voyager 1 was not to discover life, not to take over planets, but to investigate quietly, patiently, and sincerely. It was the whisper of humanity into the void, sent further than any other machine, carrying nothing more than questions, and the reverberation of our existence. But what it's uncovering now isn't just data, it's a revelation. Space is anything but the empty silence we imagined. It's layered, it's structured, it breathes, it remembers. And Voyager, aging, half-deaf, and powered by 1970s technology, is the bravest thing we've ever built, bold enough to cross that line and keep reporting back. Its discoveries are removing the illusion that we ever really knew where we lived. The protective bubble of our heliosphere isn't just a cosmic boundary. It's a cocoon, a cradle. And beyond it lies an environment that has been shaped by explosions, visible currents, and magnetic scars that long-dead stars left behind. What Voyager has found isn't fantasy. Wormholes and alien ships are not to blame. It's something more real and, maybe, more terrifying, the realization that we have always resided in an unstable oasis, floating in a much more turbulent, dynamic, and complex sea than we ever dared to imagine. Every pulse Voyager hears, every variation and filament, it maps and decodes. It all builds toward one truth. We were never intended to end at the outermost part of our solar system. We were meant to reach further, to listen deeper, to understand that space is not a gap to fill, but a tale to read. And right now, Voyager is on the first page of the greatest chapter ever written. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, where nothing but stars can be seen, keep in mind that 15 billion miles away, a gold-plated messenger is still listening, still drifting, and still mapping the galaxy's undiscovered skeleton. And maybe, just maybe, it's reminding us that the actual frontier never ended there. We always felt the need to understand. If you've reached this point, then you're not just curious. You are one of the few who truly pays attention when the universe speaks. So, tell us in the comments, how do you feel about what Voyager 1 will find next out there? Beyond the maps, above and beyond the models, everything we thought we knew. Do that. Press the subscribe button and enable notifications, because this isn't just yet another space opera. It's the beginning of a much deeper one. And believe me, you'll want to be here when the next signal comes in.